Oh, why are you closing me out like that? Give me a clip. I want a clip for at the end of the race. Comes over to the left way more. Like, look at this angle. That angle is not the angle to take the corner. This is the angle to take the corner. So he did crowd me out, and then anything that happened after that was a consequence of that. I was taking the line to take the corner as well. So he wasn't trying to recover from the previous corner. Shush! Don't act like he was in a bad situation and trying to recover. He's taking the corner fine. Look, there's no reason why he can't continue to go right. And then he just, boom, straight over. Trying to crowd me out when I'm already there. Gregory says he was trying to overtake the guy in front of him. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the reasons that he took that line. I was still there. He still took the line that he shouldn't have taken because I was there. I'm going to start a series on YouTube talking about racing incidents. And imparting some knowledge. Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and welcome to the final episode of The Racing School. This episode's probably about 2 years, more than 2 years after episode 8, when I was talking about assists or whatever it was. And throughout the course of The Racing School, which is a series that I made for those who are new to the channel, a series that I made way back in the day to kind of educate people about racing, using racing lines, braking, accelerating techniques, things like that, to help people become better racers from a 0 point sort of thing, where if you just didn't have a clue what to do when it came to racing properly or how to be faster, the Racing School was a way to, give you that first step. And throughout the course of that series, I kind of had it in mind that I had phase 1, which was talking about how to be quicker yourself, racing lines, things like that. And then phase 2, which would move more on to racing with other people when it came to battling with people, how to overtake, how to defend, things like that. And I never got around to doing it. And I guess my motivation for the Racing School series itself kind of waned. And it was always just something that I kept putting on the back burner and then never got around to doing it. And I kind of eventually got to the point where I decided, look, this is never going to happen. Let's just forget about it. But then a few months ago, an idea popped into my head of taking submissions of incidents that happen in races from you guys who are watching and going over them and talking about who was at fault, what people could have done differently, how to have correctly overtaken in that situation or correctly defended the position, things like that. And I thought that is a natural progression from the Racing School series and is kind of perfectly in line with what I wanted to do with that phase 2 of the Racing School. So this final episode of the Racing School series kind of is acting as an introduction and a transition to that new series, which is, it's not the Racing School specifically, but it is, a shoot off of it essentially. And I'm going to be using that new series, which I'm going to be calling the Stewards Room, to discuss racing incidents that happen. You'll have the chance to submit your incidents, your clips. I'll leave a link down below for the form to be able to do that. Obviously, I need it as a video, but I'll choose the best ones, and every episode I'll go over these incidents that we see and clips that we have that have been submitted by you guys. And I'll use the rules of racing, which there's plenty of information out there regarding that, but I'll use that as a baseline to make a decision on who was at fault, and hopefully, it will allow people to learn what they can and can't do in racing situations, who was wrong, who was right, that kind of stuff. Even if two people are just disagreeing on whose fault it was, I can settle that, and by doing that, it will allow me to explain why this is wrong, why this is right, all that kind of stuff, and hopefully it will fulfill that original desire that I had from the Racing School series to talk about that and teach people about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable when it comes to overtaking, defending, and increase people's knowledge overall about what you can do and what proper racing etiquette would be. So yeah, this is serving as the introduction for that new series, which I'm calling the Stewards Room. And yeah, the clip that you saw at the start of this video, although I had this in mind that I was going to do it, that clip at the start of the video just kind of it pushed me over the edge to wanting to do this series, as soon as possible, really. Well, not really as soon as possible. It's not exactly a major priority, but it pushed it further back into my mind that this is something that I need to do, because we often do that on streams. If there's an incident that happens on a stream in a GTA race or whatever, often people will clip it as part of the stream, and I'll look over it and we'll talk about who was at fault and things like that. So it's kind of bringing that spirit into video form, and it's not just going to be a case of me giving the final verdict. I will obviously give my final verdict and my opinion, and I'll back that up with information and outside sources of what is and isn't acceptable based on the rules of racing. But then there'll be a conversation after it. In the comments of each YouTube video, you can give your own opinions and things like that. And any submissions that you make for this series, they can be from any racing game. It doesn't have to just be GTA. It doesn't have to just be a proper hardcore simulator. It can be any kind of racing game. So if you're doing a proper racing event on GTA in the Nonchalant Dominance crew or anything like that, and an incident happens or a crash happens and you want to know who was at fault because you're just curious, or you and the person who you were having the incident with disagree on whose fault it was, you can submit it. I'll go over it in the video, show the clip, and then talk about who was at fault. Same with any other racing game, really, whether it's Project Cars, Gran Turismo, any racing game where you have a clip and the priority is proper racing, I can talk about it. And even if it's not proper racing, when it comes to GTA races, even if you're in a random lobby, I can give some opinions on that, but ultimately I'll probably say, well, you chose to go in a random lobby, so anything goes, But yeah, this is the introduction for that series, the Stewards Room. That's what it's going to be called. Like I said, the link is in the description to submit your clips. If you have a clip or you get any clips in the near future, it will be a continuous thing, so you'll always be able to submit stuff. Whether it's a YouTube video, a Twitch clip, you upload a video clip to a Dropbox or something like that, whatever it is, there'll be you can submit it via the form linked in the description, and I'll be coming out with the Stewards Room episode 1 at some point in the near future. We'll talk over those things and I'll give some verdicts on the incidents itself, and hopefully some people will learn something about it, learn something from it. That's all I want. Hopefully me telling you this was wrong, this was right, he should have done this, he shouldn't have done that, will make you better racers as well. And that was the sole intention of the Racing School series. I just never got around to doing it in the way that I initially envisaged, and this is kind of the extension of that, if you like. So yeah, let me know what you think about it down below. This is officially the final episode of the Racing School series, but I figured I'd bring it back for one last episode to announce this new series. But yeah, let me know down below in the description what you think about this. Are you excited, and have you submitted a clip? And if you have any clips, feel free to submit them. Like I said, the link's in the description. So that's it for it now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.